Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Hot Desk, your quick tips and tricks on navigating the Real Desk platform. I'm Mark, your chief desk jockey, and today we're going to talk about commission advances, which is not commission advance loans. We will talk about that shortly because that is a third-party withholding, which is another common question that we get. But this is actually about setting up the commission calculator such that your agent can receive multiple payments at different points, which is very common on developer deals, new construction. So how do you do this? Really simple. You go into the commission calculator as you normally do and put in whatever percentages you normally would. Let's just pick something here, and then click here for commission advances in the upper right corner. And at that point you can do anywhere between 1 and 3 payments and do it either by amount or by percentage. So if we wanted 30, 30, 40, that's possible. 50-50 is another common scheme for developer deals. In this case, let's do 3, and we'll hit set payments, and that's all that needs to be done. Set commissions, and then submit the rest of the deal as you normally would. So now if we look at the broker page for the deal, I know that many of you are not going to find this video too exciting because you've done this a bunch of times before and you know how to do all these developer deals. But a couple new things that I did want to point out that are relatively recent. Both can be found in the Invoices tab. So when we recently redid the way that invoices work on developer deals, we decided that we would create the pro forma invoices for all of the payments. So for the agent, there's 3 invoices here. And payment 1 is 30% of commission, payment 2 will look the same, payment 3 will be 40%. You have the ability to generate those ahead of time. The other thing that's also really nice, particularly for these developer deals, is the invoice that can go from the brokerage to any one of the other brokerage, the client, the seller. And so here the other brokerage is actually a developer, and I click here for payment 1 of 3, I can generate this to 1426319 Alberta Limited and send that off to them for that initial payment because the deal won't have closed yet. The contract gives the agent the ability to claim that first commission payment 90 days after the contract date. And so I have something like this that I can send off to say, please pay us $3,780, and away we go. Then in terms of paying the deal out, one thing that you've probably noticed before is that this is the one kind of deal where we currently don't offer that create payments for this deal one-click functionality. And that's because there's just too many variables in terms of when deal fees, expenses will be done, whether the received payments will actually match up with the sent payments and so on. It just isn't necessarily going to be as clean as on a one-shot deal where you receive money and you pay money out. So that's the reason why we currently don't offer it. But what is nice is that, so let's say I've received in this case that initial 30% tranche that we were showing before from that other brokerage. I've transferred it to the commission trust and I'm going to pay my agent. So if I click send payments, it's going to automatically prompt me. I've done this now through the commission calculator and set this up to do the 30% payment. That's why this is infinitely preferable to doing it a very manual way where I would put in the full $12,000 and then manually figure out the right payments to make. This way it'll automatically do it. With deal fees, you'll have to determine on your own like when you want to apply that and in what amount. So it might be something where you're only going to apply that at the end, so you might zero these out. Expenses, if this realtor had any, you'd be able to recover those at any given point. So we hit process expenses, and this realtor doesn't have EFT setups, like process payment, and away we go. And then if I were to be ready now to send out the next payment, it'll come up with the next 30%, payment 2 of 3, and it will continue until it's fully paid out. If we look at what goes to the agent, so it's very similar to what we saw before, but it is much clearer than it used to be. It used to be that the developer invoices were not necessarily clear on exactly what was being paid out today versus what was being paid later. So here you can very clearly see that it's payment 1 of 3, it's 30% of commission, and here's the amount that actually goes into the agent's bank accounts. And the last piece is the effect that this multiple payment structure has on financial statistics, T4A, income. Realtor statistics and T4A are all generated based on the income as it was paid out. So In this case, if only that initial 30% was paid out in 2024, only that first $3,600 would show up in the financial stats or the T4As. Even though the total commission for this deal is $12,000, I'm only seeing that initial $3,600 as paid out right now. That's really all you need to know when it comes to developer deals and multiple payments in the commission calculator. Hopefully that helps you use that feature with confidence going forward. Please do like and subscribe on YouTube if you're so inclined. It does help us quite a bit. And thanks as always for being part of the Raildesk community.